There we go. See, I guess I'm a little rusty. Can you hear me now? All right. Let's try that again. I'm back. I thought I unmuted myself. Apparently I didn't. But yeah, took a little break for the holidays. Holidays are over. So we are back. I feel like there's a lot to talk about. I have not done a video in a while. The last video I did was a couple weeks ago. It was the Red Eye pen, the screen use pen from Red Eye that I found that I didn't really know that I had. And yeah, I haven't really commented on the what is up, guys? What's up? Haven't really commented on the state of Scream 7. So that's kind of what we're gonna be talking about. Let me pull up something here. There we go. All right, yeah. So just to get it up there, basically this is going to be the bulk of what I want to talk about tonight. I haven't really made my feelings known. What is up, Josh B in the house? Oh, yeah. That's a question for sure. How deep will I get into it? Maybe not that deep, but I will let my, personal feelings and thoughts on everything known. And kind of like start at the beginning and go to like where we're at now and what I think, could happen versus what I think should happen. So yeah, might as well start. So yeah, Scream 7, it's in a pretty rough spot right now, as you all are aware. So basically, we already knew we were getting a new director. We knew that Radio Silence wasn't coming back. But that the writers were going to be coming back. So James and Guy were returning. So at least part of the team was coming back to kind of close out their little trilogy that they started. Now, again, this isn't going to be a discussion about, if their movies were any good or not. I mean, I like them. I know there's some people that don't, and that's fine. I'm just talking about in general, like the, fact of the matter is they definitely set up a new trilogy, and it looked like at least half the team, being the writers, were coming back to close out that trilogy. And with a new director, Chris Landon, as you know, was announced as the new director. Chris Landon, I've actually met Chris. We interviewed him for our Paranormal Activity documentary, Unknown Dimension, that's on Paramount Plus. Super cool, super nice guy. He's done, as you know, such movies as Happy Death Day 2, Paranormal Activity 5. He's done a few movies, and he also does a lot of writing. So basically, Chris Landon was announced as director, and it wasn't long after that announcement that suddenly Melissa Barrera was fired from the project for a post that she made on her Instagram. It was a politically motivated post. It had to do with the current war that's going on, the Israeli, that whole situation, which again, I'm not going to get into like the politics of it, but basically she stated her opinion, her belief on the matter, and really focused it on like, hey, this is what I believe. But at the end of the day, really in general, I just don't want to see like these awful things happening to children, no matter what side it's from. And I do believe that that was the point of her post. You know, like I said, her opinion's her opinion. It is what it is. And but I felt that she made it pretty clear that she uh you know, the point of what she was saying really was like, listen, I just don't want to see these things happening, all these awful things that are happening to children over there as a result of this conflict. Which that, you know, hey, we can all get behind that. Um, and yeah, Spyglass saw it. Apparently they were the only ones that saw it, because most people most people didn't even know about this post until after she posted it, like way after, like when she was let go from the project and it was like news. um that post was already like at least a week old, I think. And most people were like, what post, I didn't even see it, I follow her on Instagram, I didn't even pay attention, I didn't even see it. So yeah, apparently Spyglass is like one of the only people that even freaking saw it. And yeah, they fired her for it. Um, and then that just kind of started a chain of events that was just, you know, it was just like one after another after another. Um, you know, you had Jenna then leave shortly after she was fired. Um, I know that her people stated that it was scheduling, but I did find it interesting, the timing, you know, that she hadn't been announced one way or the other if she was returning for Scream 7, but the belief was that she would. And then after Melissa was fired, all of a sudden Jenna announces that she is not partaking in Scream 7. So I did find that interesting. Again, could have just been a coincidence. I personally don't think it was. I think she may have been on the fence because of scheduling, but I think the firing Melissa was just her being like, no way. No way. Let me get some comments in here before I keep going. Yeah, exactly. The director change was the least of the bad things. Do you think Paramount agreed with Spyglass's decision? I can't speak for Paramount, but I don't. If I had to guess, I would say probably not. I don't know that they were too thrilled with that, and I think they were likely a big part of something more recent that happened, which we'll get into here in a minute. Um, yeah, it's more or less she wanted this all to stop. Loss of innocent life is awful and should stop. Nothing wrong with that. She didn't say anything crazy. Exactly. That's my feeling too. I don't think she said anything offensive or crazy. Um, but yeah, so Spyglass sees it. They don't like it. They don't give her a chance at all. They fire her. And that just started. Then Jenna walked away from the project. We haven't heard a word from any of the other cast that was supposed to be returning. But I don't think it's good. You know, the movie was pretty close to going into pre-production when all this started to happen. So the fact that, you know, uh, um, Mason Gooding and um, the other cast that presumably would have been coming back, um you know, they never even like, you know, it didn't nothing was said one way or the other. We're not coming back, we are coming. Like it seemed like they kind of likely walked away as well, they just didn't announce it. um then you had Guy Busick, half the writing team leave, uh because, you know, I'm sure this created just a nightmare for you know, writing. And, you know, from what I understand, they were going to have to completely rewrite the entire thing, like from scratch, which couldn't be fun. Um, so then Guy Busick walked away. James Vanderbilt stayed, as I understand. Um, and then you had some of the more recent developments, which yeah, scheduling conflict. you had some of the more recent developments, which one of them is not official. It's just a rumor, but I do believe it to be based in reality. That basically, and this is what I said I would get back to as far as uh, Paramount's stake in all this. Um, you know, the rumors now are that Spyglass, after the massive backlash that they got from fans and just other people in general, celebrities, other people involved in the project, the massive backlash they got, they kind of tried to backtrack a little bit after a couple weeks and rumored to have basically took a meeting with Melissa to try to get her back on board, as long as she recanted what she said, or these are just rumors. I do believe that the meeting took place, or the attempted meeting took place, though, and that Melissa basically was like, "No, I don't think so." So I'm thinking that probably had a lot to do with Paramount. I think that at Paramount, probably more so than Spyglass, was being affected by the backlash, and they likely told Spyglass, like, "Yo, you need to fix this. Like, you gotta get her back somehow. This is this is not good. So fix it." And it just it seems like Spyglass blew their chance of fixing it, and then next thing you know, Chris Landon leaves the project, and he literally said this was a dream project that turned into a nightmare. So that tells you all you need to know right there. Like I said, I personally know how excited Chris was for Scream 7. This really truly was a dream job for him. I can tell you, as far back as when we interviewed him for the Paranormal Activity documentary, it was literally like 2 days after Scream 5 was announced that Radio Silence was directing, but they didn't say anything about the writers yet. And we asked him at the interview, we were like, "Are you writing Scream 5? We won't tell anybody," because there was rumors that it might be Chris Landon at the time. And he was like, "Oh, guys, I wish." He's like, "What a dream that would be to be involved in a Scream movie. Like, that's like my biggest dream." So this was before Scream 5 was even made. This was like Scream 5 had just been officially announced 2 days prior. Then we're in the house from Paranormal Activity 2 interviewing Chris Landon, and we literally off camera were like, "Hey, you said you got something you're working on coming up." It turned out to be Freaky, obviously, but he just had mentioned that he had a project coming up. So we were like, "Are you writing Scream 5?" And he literally said, "What a dream that would be, but no, unfortunately, it's not." So I'm just telling you, he absolutely, this was a dream for him. So for him to walk away, and not just walk away, but walk away and literally say, "This was a dream that turned into a nightmare," that pretty much tells you all you need to know. That if he had to walk away because of the situation, and I'm just guessing here that there's probably even more drama going on that we don't even know about. I mean, there always is, but I'm assuming, you know, uh, Melissa getting fired was just the start, and then it was just a big shit show from there on. It was, now Jenna left. Now no one else wants to come back. Now this person's leaving. Now that, oh, the writer left, and who knows what else that we don't even know about was going on, to the point that Chris Landon was like, "I'm out. I'm out. This is a nightmare. This isn't what I signed up for. Best of luck. Peace out." So yeah, that's terrible. Let's see. Why do I think Spyglass is uninterested? I don't know. I think honestly, it's at this point, it's probably ego. And I feel like they probably have some lawyers that are telling them, like, don't publicly apologize, get her to apologize, get her to recant what she said, and then give her whatever she wants. Stop this bad publicity, but don't, if you apologize, then you guys, you're setting yourself up for admitting that you did. I have a feeling there's some of that involved in it. Let's see. So that's where we're at. I mean, really, the project is pretty much stalled for now, indefinitely, as they call it. A lot of people hear indefinitely, they're like, "Oh, that means it's never going to happen." Doesn't mean it's never going to happen. It just means that they don't have a time frame of when it'll pick back up and it'll start going again. So let's see. Don't want Scream 7 unless there's a distributor change. The lack of comments and even comments given from people affiliated have been disappointing. We'll always stand with Melissa. Absolutely. Yeah. There's been a lot. And like I said, I get it. I get it. If you don't like the new movies, that's okay. You're allowed to have that opinion. But I agree. There is a lot of negativity that I mean, people coming, and I don't even want to repeat any of it. It's just, yeah, this, you know the Scream community has always been uh kind of the more chill of the big franchise like fan communities as far as like negative stuff. I mean, you always had like a little bit here and there, like the people that are like Stu's alive, Stu's not alive. Those people have always kind of went head to head a little bit, but it was really relatively chill. It wasn't until these new movies started coming out and now this happening that it's gotten kind of toxic, really bad with all the, you know, just all the negativity. And yeah, this made it 10 times worse. So yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think Spyglass thought people would be happy, but I don't think they thought that there would be this much backlash. I think Spyglass probably just thought, well, people get canceled all the time. People have been canceled for less. And, some people are going to be upset, but a lot of people are going to be happy. And, a lot of people aren't even going to know about it. And most people might not even care. So just do it. I don't think they expected the almost universal backlash that they got. All right, Josh. So this is perfect because this sets up what I wanted to talk about next. Which director should take over Scream 7? I think Eli Roth would be a badass choice coming off of a success with Thanksgiving. So that's kind of what I wanted to get to was the state of Scream 7. So we know it's kind of in limbo right now. We don't really know what's going to happen. Is it going to stay with uh Spyglass and Paramount? Is it going to go somewhere else? What's going to happen? Um, I don't think there's enough information out there right now to really predict what's going to happen. Uh, but I can tell you, I can tell you what I'd like to see happen. What I think should happen at this point is, and follow with me here. I think it's pretty clear that the only reason Radio Silence didn't come back to do 7 was because they were likely burnt out a little bit because they had just done 5 and 6 almost back to back, and they had all these other projects in the works. So I feel like it was kind of a little bit of scheduling because they wanted to do this other movie with Universal. But they were also kind of like, maybe if there was a couple years we'd come back, but it's just like to do 3 like back to back to back. I think it was maybe just a little bit too much for them, which is why they were happy to pass it off to another director, especially knowing that James and Guy were writing and that they would be able to conclude their trilogy that they set up. So, with that in mind, I personally would like to see Radio Silence come back, finish their trilogy, and let them do what they've been doing. Let them make the movie they want to make. If it has to go from Spyglass to somebody else, so be it. But, get Melissa back, get Jenna back, get all the people back, do the movie they originally intended to do, and let's get Radio Silence back to finish their trilogy. I think if that happened, some of this stuff, not all of it, I don't want to, be misinterpreted here, but I think some of this stuff could almost be like a blessing in disguise in the sense that, we really would get like a trilogy that's like, yes, we had Scream 1, 2, and 3 that were all directed by Wes, but Kevin didn't rate 3. So there's kind of that weirdness where Kevin's like, that's not my movie at all. That's not what I had written. That's not what I intended. I feel like if they're able to do 7 with the same writers, then we'll finally have, 3 Scream movies, a trilogy, if you will, that are, the same creative team the whole way throughout. So that's what I would like to see happen at this point. I mean, Landon walked away. Yes, Eli Roth would be great. He'd be a great choice. But I personally would like to see them, if they're going to take this long to figure it out, the movie's on hiatus, then just reach out and say, guys, come back. When are you available? When you're available, we'll do this. Let's do it. So I say we get Radio Silence back with the writers, get Melissa, Jenna, get them all back and finish your trilogy. That's what I want to see from Scream 7 at this point in the game. Do I think toxic fans started when the concept was introduced, and if they didn't use that angle? No, I don't think it necessarily started. I know there's a lot of people that like jumped on that. Like, there was a time for a while there after Scream 5 came out that it seemed like anybody that said like, oh, I don't like the movie, they were like, okay, Richie, toxic fan, whatever. I don't think that helped the situation at all. But no, I think there just was some genuinely toxic fans that like came out of the woodwork when this new Scream movie came out, Scream 5. And I mean, there's one in particular, I won't mention names, but I mean, he's relentless, like on all the groups, just nonstop. Like, this is not what Wes would have wanted. Wes would have rolled over in his grave. Wes would hate this movie. This is just every way that you could possibly like tear the movie apart, and just kept saying like shitting on Wes's legacy and shit Wes and Wes wouldn't have done that and Wes would have wanted this. Meanwhile, you have a lot of people that knew Wes personally and worked on the movies with Wes when he was alive, saying like, I knew Wes personally. He was a dear friend, and I can tell you right now, he would love Scream 5. He would have loved it. He would, he would be proud of this. He would just be over the moon that, these directors, what they did with it. I'm kind of going to lean towards the people that knew Wes versus the fans that were like, nah, Wes would have hated it and he would have rolled over in his grave and, just, yeah. So I don't know. There was just a lot of toxic stuff going on. I'm going to try to get to some more comments here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's just get it to where it needs to go to get Radio Silence back to finish it. Yeah, I agree. 5 was definitely like their ultimate like fanboy dream. Like, we're doing a Scream movie and we're gonna honor Wes. And it was great. I thought it was great. It worked out. And then 6 was like, now let's make a Scream movie where, we're not so much getting super heavy into the fan service. I mean, obviously they have like the shrine and stuff like that with all those Easter eggs, which is really cool. But yeah, I think that's what's so see, that's what I mean. I'm very curious to know what their 7 would have been or will be, hopefully. I don't think it'll get canceled. I think we'll get a Scream 7 one way or another. I think it's just a question of when. I'm down. I'm all for the core 4. That's why I want to see, everybody come back. Like, let's give them a final movie. Let's close that story out because I think that's what they could do. I think they could close out the story of the core 4 as well as, any other characters that were legacy characters with a Scream 7. And then who knows, like 10, 15 years down the road, somebody else can come along and make a Scream 8 with a whole new, cast and new characters and a new story. That's partially linked to what happened in the past again. I think that's what's fun about these movies. I think as long as I don't have any problem with there being like a movie every couple years, but I think after so many, like 3, I think it's time to take a break again. Maybe not 10 years, maybe even 5 years. Like, give it like 5 years and then come back with a new cast and a new story, but that's linked to the past. I just think that's what's so fun about these movies. Let's see. I agree with that. 100%. Yeah, I've tell this to people all the time that aren't like super keen on horror and franchises and stuff. I'm like, dude, the most consistent as far as quality is 100% Scream. And the most consistent timeline is Scream for sure. Beneath that would be like Friday the 13th because it really only has one timeline. Quality is kind of shaky there. But then you get into these other ones like Halloween where it's like choose your own adventure. There's like, 17 different timelines you can follow if you want. And, Nightmare on Elm Street kind of has its own like weird thing going. And then you had like part 7, which was like all the other ones were just movies and it kind of changed everything. Yeah, I think Scream is definitely across the board the top for sure. No, there was never any confirmation, and I honestly don't. I'm not saying that she's not going to be a character or shouldn't be a character. I just don't. I've never saw the fascination with her. Um, you know, everybody is like, well, you know, they kept her a mystery in 5 for a reason, and she's not even around in 6. Like, they've got to be saving her for like 7. She's gonna have a huge role in 7, and she's probably gonna be the killer, and blah 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 blah. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know why. I don't get it. Because you know, I mean, the directors have gone on record and said, and the writers, like, she was original. I have the original draft of the screenplay. She was in 5, and for one scene, she was originally in the bar in Scream 5, and they just decided they didn't need her. They were just like, she's not important, not important in the scene. We don't need to have her. She doesn't need to be in it. So they just completely just cut it out. It was just a small scene. There was no like conspiracy behind it. Like, oh, like we're going to save her for, no, it was just kind of like, do we really need her here? I mean, Dewey was originally in the bar scene, and they cut him out of that because he didn't really need that. And they thought it was more impactful to have his first scene be at the trailer like that. So yeah, she was going to be in 5, just in a very small role, and they just cut it just because it didn't affect the story at all. And they pretty much explained in 6 that they don't want anything to do with her, like the mom, like the kids, they don't want anything to do with her. That's why she's not around. So I mean, I don't know, maybe they'll figure out something, but I don't believe that's what was ever intended. And I think that I think that if they were to, what I wouldn't want to see happen is similar to like what happened with Saw. And if any of you guys that haven't seen Saw 7, I guess it's a spoiler, even though the movie came out like forever ago. Saw 3D, we'll say. But I was thinking about it the other day, and it's one of those things where it's like, after Saw 2 came out, everybody in the opening scene of Saw 2, where Jigsaw is shown on the video setting up the trap with the eyeball trap, the keys behind the eyeball. They show that on like a video, like security camera, and there's like one little shot where he looks like he's like limping. And all the fans went nuts, and they're like, that's Dr. Gordon, dude, from Saw 1. He's still alive. And it makes sense because he was a surgeon. He took the eyeball out and planted the key there. That's exactly who that is. And the directors and the filmmakers, they're like, no, honestly, they're like, that was not the intention at all. Dr. Gordon's dead. He's 100% dead for sure. The little limp was accidental by the actor, trust us. And at this point, Saw 7 wasn't even a thought in their head. They're just doing a sequel. They don't even know if there's going to be another one after that. Well, the fans just kind of ran with that. They ran with it. 100% ran with it, to the point that every Saw movie that came out after that, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, they were like, Gordon's coming back. I'm telling you, Gordon better be involved at some point. Dr. Gordon better be involved, or else we're going to be really, really, really mad. And it eventually got to the point where the filmmakers felt like they had to. They were like, we have to have Dr. Gordon or they're going to be pissed off. So that's why he was kind of tacked on to the end of Saw 3D, aka Saw 7, because the fans kind of created this story in their minds of like, no, he's alive and he's important and he's involved and whatever. So they just kind of felt like, we got to do it. It's the last Saw. What else are we going to do? They're going to be mad if we don't have Dr. Gordon. They've been clamoring for him for however long. So I'm just hoping that they don't do something like that. Like that if they bring Christina into the film, that it's for the right reason. I'm hoping that they're not just like, man, everybody keeps saying Christina needs to be in the next one, so we're just going to have to do it. That's my thoughts on it. I know that was long and drawn out, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Let's see. I'm just catching up on your comments here, guys. Would I be down for I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, the fact? Yeah, absolutely. I keep hoping that rumored I Know What You Did Last Summer legacy sequel with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. becomes reality. I would love to see that happen. Urban Legend was supposed to have one. There was a script and it was ready to be made. It was called the script, and I don't even know if this is public knowledge, so hopefully I don't get in trouble for this. But the script was called Suburban Legend, like suburban legend. And that was what the script was for the Urban Legend Legacy sequel. Um, I'm not 100% sure on the plot details. I haven't got a chance to read the script yet. But as we know, the movie's been canceled for whatever reason. They decided not to do it. But it's my understanding that it was a pretty good legacy sequel. Sorry, Channing's dog is in here. It keeps coming in and out. It's distracting me. But yeah, so Suburban Legend was going to be that. And the Faculty, yeah, I love the Faculty. I'd love to see a Faculty sequel. That'd be so cool. Just going through some comments, guys. Did I ever see people hating on 5 and 6 before they were released? Oh yeah, for sure. But that's any movie. I feel like anytime a trailer for any movie comes out, there's always people that are like, "Lame, sucks. It's gonna suck." Yeah, I feel like that's any movie. Would you have a new I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel fall after the first or second? I mean, I don't mind the second one. I feel like they could get away with doing either at this point. I mean, it's been so long since either of those movies came out that, there's probably a lot of people that would be like, "Oh, I didn't even know there was a second one," or "I don't even remember it." Like if they chose to ignore it. And I also don't necessarily, with the exception of the whole, I mean, presumably they're both dead, both the killers from, the second one are dead. So I don't I don't really think it would really change anything, if they did ignore it versus if they didn't. So, yeah, I think they could get away with either. I think there's a good story to be told, regardless of if they follow the original or follow the way the sequel ended. There was a lot of hate that I saw for 6. I saw a lot of people that didn't like that it was taking place in New York. I saw a lot of people criticizing the aged mask, that the mask wouldn't age that way in reality, and why didn't they just use Gen 1 or whatever. And um Melissa Barrera's back and she's a terrible actress, and who cares about Gen, like, I saw a lot of that stuff. Just catching up on some comments here, guys. You got some cool items from your local theater from Scream 3? They still had stuff from Scream 3? What did you get? What mask was going to be? Oh, for sure, the 2023 EU. I mean, I'm sure Fun World, as they always do, for the most part, will send them a plethora of masks to choose from, different types. I'm sure they'll send some 25th anniversaries. But yeah, I think in general, they're going to send them a lot of 2023 EUs. Oh, that's awesome. I still have what am I have the Mylar for Scream 3. You can't see it, but it's up here on the wall. That was above like the theater that was showing it. I have that. I have a lot of the original posters, but I don't have any of them displayed. I just have the fourth one displayed because it's signed by Wes. I just don't have room and space. And yeah, but I have them. I've got most of the theatrical posters. I don't have 5 and 6. I want to get them. I will get them eventually. But I don't think Fun World did that specifically for Scream 7. I think they just knew. Well, not I think, I know. They knew that that style of mask and that type of quality with that hood and, the vanilla smell and all that, they knew that that was, what fans really wanted to see like back in stores again, as opposed to the ultra whites. So I think that that was the main reason they decided to finally bring them back. Yeah, me too. I don't have as many as I used to have, but I kept a lot of ones that I really liked. I've got a couple from the Scream movies. I've got Hostel, stuff like that. Blair Witch 2. It's funny, are milers even a thing anymore? I feel like most theaters, like, you don't even see that. I feel like most theaters now you go to, they either just have like Screen 1, Screen 2, Screen 3, Screen 7 above, or they have like a digital thing, like a digital board that just tells you what movie's playing. Like, I feel like milers aren't even really a thing anymore. Drusif is in the house. What is up, my man? Welcome. Arctic Ghostface in 7. That would be interesting. I could see it in a stab movie. If they did like some more footage from a stab movie. I like that they use kind of like silly masks for that. Thoughts on the Mardi Gras mask? I don't know. I kind of want to see one in person. That I feel like no matter what the mask is, those promo shots never really do him justice. The bling mask. I mean, hey, it's something different. At least I can appreciate that it's colorful. they're not necessarily my thing as far as like collecting masks goes. But yeah, I think I would want to see it in person before I completely judged what I thought of it. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I get it, but at the same time, you know, you got to have some suspension of belief because it is a movie. And yes, they could have just got a bunch of Gen 1s and Gen 2s and whatever and done that. But again, at the end of the day, I think, you know, the portion of the, we're a small portion of the audience. That's the thing. Scream has a lot of fans, but, 95% of the ticket sales for the Scream movies are from casual fans, casual audience members. We're like the minority, like the diehard community that would even recognize something like that. So, I always keep things like that in mind. Like, yeah, it would have been cool. Maybe it would have been better looking to see a Gen 1 on screen again. It would have been awesome. You're right. But again, like I said, I kind of get it because it's just kind of like, well, 5% of the audience, if that, would have even noticed that. So I always try to keep that in mind that at the end of the day, I feel like they do as much as they can to put little Easter eggs in for us. But, that would be freaking sweet if they brought that back. Let's see. Definitely want to see the Scream 3 Voice Changer make a turn. Exactly. That's the thing. When you watch when you're watching a Scream movie, you have to keep in mind that, you're picking out all this stuff. But 95% of the audience, the mask it's the same. It doesn't matter if it's the mask from Scream 1. Hell, there's people that can't tell the difference between a K and B and a Gen 1 and a E. Like, you could literally like hold up a K and B and hold up like an EU and be like, can't you tell the difference? And they'd be like, no. Like, that's the majority of people. It's a very small number of people that appreciate these things and nitpick every little thing like that and obsess over it. So yeah, I always try to keep that in mind. Um yeah, yeah, that's one of those things where I get why they did it, and I thought it was really funny. I think they were just like, let's just have them look absolutely ridiculous in this movie, which they succeeded at. But again, at the same time, it was like, but we already have footage from a stab movie, and that's not what Ghostface looks like in it. So yeah, it's crazy, but I really do think that we are still going to get Scream 7. I just don't think it's going to be as soon as it was planned, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's good that we're going to get a little bit of a break, you know, um before we get it. Yeah, for sure. The only thing I noticed being different before I got the hobby was the TD. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've all been there. There was a time where I didn't see a difference. I mean, hell, I think I probably watched Scream when it first came out. Obviously, I saw it in theaters on opening night when I was 13. But I saw like when it came out on video where you could like rent it, I rent it like all the time. Then when it came out to buy, I bought it. I probably watched it, 15 times before I started to notice like, is that mask different? Why is that mask so small? Why is that mask, the mouth is real stubby? Like, what? I'm like looking at it like, it's on VHS, so the quality's bad, but it's like, why does that mask look different? It took a while to start to notice these things. I think it looks the best in Scream 3. And next would be Scream 5. I think those two, the masks look the best as far as the more modern, molds go. Yeah, same. I think that the EU looked the best in Scream 3. I think that's one of the best Ghostface portrayals in the entire franchise. I think Brian Avery did an amazing job as Ghostface. I think he was super brutal, super scary. Yeah, the masks, man, they really picked they picked a really good bunch of masks for that movie. What is up, Skylar? She is here. Welcome. Am I lagging for anybody else? It could be. I don't know how good the internet is right now because I'm in Pennsylvania, if you don't know, and it is like a a blizzard here right now, like massive amounts of snow. It's still out there. It's still around. People are still finding them. What, funnily enough, was most people found them at FYE. Was where most people ended up finding that mask. But I believe, according to Fun World and what RJ's told me, that they're going to be pretty much everywhere this year. What is up, Ryan? Yeah, they definitely figured that out. That was pretty impressive that they kind of were like, how can we make the mouth look a little cooler? Talking about noticing it right away. Like, I remember opening night for Scream 5. The first time you see the mask, I'm like, what mask even is that? Like, look at the chin. It's so like prominent. Like, I couldn't figure. It kind of made me like, what is this? Did they make a special mask for the movie? Like, that's crazy. But yeah, it was the insert. I had no idea that that's what it was gonna look like. Like, I knew that's what they were doing with them, but I had no idea that it was gonna look that prominent on camera. Where it was like, wow, like I know the types of masks they were sent, but it made it to where you couldn't tell which one was which on like a first viewing because of that. Is it true one man is known to own a Screen Use 96 robe? Well, let's see if I can get this right. There is, I want to say there's 4 robes from Scream 1 that are known to be in existence, and like we know where they're at. So there's at least 4 surviving that we know where they're at, all with collectors. I do know that Wes Craven's estate has some as well. I believe they have one from, maybe several from all the movies, but Yeah, Wes's estate has some robes from Scream 1 for sure. Let's see. Hope to be. That would be awesome. I would love to own a Scream 5 robe as well, especially because I helped design it and I didn't get to keep one. I want a hard plastic mask like the Dead by Daylight mask. I need. I have a hard plastic mask somewhere, which is like, I think I have like the same kind that was used for the stab footage in Scream 5. Is it true they sent 2017 EU masks to set that were used? Yes. For a while, I thought Douglas had the Screen Used 96 costume, but he has the two. Yes. Douglas has the Screen Used, one of the Screen Used robes from Scream 2. He also has a test robe from Scream 4, which is made with a very kind of cheap shimmer fabric, and it was never intended to be used. They basically were just using it like to kind of test like the design, because they made a pattern from my Scream 3 robe, and then they had this one made up, and were kind of playing around with how they wanted the robe to look. So they used this like cheap fabric and did some tests with it. So he has one of those too, which is also really cool. Yes, you do own what you wanted from Scream 5. uh yes, so someone in our chat by the name of Swift Mode is the proud owner of one of Amber's shirt combinations from Scream 5 from the finale, which would be her long sleeve floral and the green what are those? I don't even know what they even call those now. I guess it's a t-shirt, but there's a specific name for that type of shirt with the, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, he's a proud owner of that. And I have seen he's got it on display now. It looks amazing in the display case. Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Ribbed tee. I was literally like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Why can I not remember what that's called? Yeah, it's a really weird fabric that's way too shimmery, way too shiny. But like I said, it was never intended to be used. It was just used for like tests and camera tests and stuff like that. Yeah, it's weird fabric, but a really cool piece of Scream history. I always wonder why the masks in the films don't look like the retail versions, even though they were the same exact mask. I guess it was just modifications this whole time. Yes, it's a combination of a lot of things, and I've been saying this for years and years and years and years because people still don't. I've even seen people like where they modify their mask. They're like, but I modified it. It still doesn't look like it does on camera. Um, it's really never going to, because you have to think, you have off-the-shelf mask that is modified in many different ways, and add to that the conditions of filming, and the different scenes and the different angles, the camera angle, the lighting after they're done filming and they put it through processing and color correcting, all these things affect what you see on screen in the final, cut of the movie. So I've seen people get, screen use stuff, or they see something in person and they go, is that really what it looks like? That's not even the same color. Like the Fight Club jacket, like the way that movie was, uh, the way that movie was color corrected and shot and lit and everything, they had to use certain colors on the wardrobe and stuff to get the look that they wanted. So it was like, well, we want the leather jacket to look blood red. We want it to look like it's like literally blood red on camera. Well, they had to make it kind of bright red in order for it to show up as blood red with the lighting and stuff. So if you see like a screen used Fight Club jacket, it's kind of like lipstick red, and people are like, "Oh, it's much darker in the movie." That was the lighting and the color correcting and all that. So it's the same thing with these. And then another thing, a lot of times some of these modifications weren't even permanent. They were done like on the fly like that. If you ever saw my interview with JP, he was like, we had like in Scream 1, he remembered like they had like uh an exact like shape of the Ghostface mouth, like made out of like cut out of cardboard in their pocket, like at all times. And that way, if like, they were getting ready for a shot and, the DP was like, hey, the mouth needs to be as dull as possible, they would get the black tape and like tape it up and make a mouth out of black tape and stick it there for a shot, and then they take it off after they were done. And I know stories with Scream 4, same thing. The DP, sometimes he would want it dull, sometimes he'd want it shiny, sometimes he'd want it real shiny. He'd be like, go with the shiny one for this one. And sometimes instead of digging out a different mask and going through that change, they would just grab like lipstick, or not, I'm sorry, not lipstick. They'd grab like chapstick and like smear it all over the mouth to get it like super shiny, Vaseline type stuff just for that shot. And then they'd wipe it off. So yeah, there's tons of modifications, both permanent and temporary, that were done. And then when you add the lighting and the camera angles and the color correcting and the way the film's developed and everything, that's why you're never gonna, you could hold the mask, you could literally be holding the mask that's on camera, like in the movie. He'd be like, here's the screen use mask from this scene. You'd still probably look at it and go, but it doesn't look the same. That's why. It's because of all that stuff combined. Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's like that whole debate for so long where everyone's like, what is a Halloween 1 where Michael's coveralls are like green, or is it Halloween 2? I feel like there's someone can refresh my memory that knows more about it. One of the Halloween movies, like one of the originals, his coveralls are like green, but on camera it looks blue. And like cosplayers are like, no, they're green. If you want it to be accurate to what was used, you got to get the green ones. If you want it to be, um, accurate to what you see in the movie, then you wear blue because that's what it looks like because of the lighting and stuff. But in actuality, it's green. Yeah, see, that's it. Yeah. So if you want to have the same pair, you got to have a green pair. But if you want it to look like it does in the movie, then you might want to wear a blue pair. What else? What else? So I guess, well, that's my talk on Scream 7. What did everybody have a good Christmas, good holidays? Anybody get anything awesome? I just got this yesterday, actually. If she's still watching, hopefully. I can thank her now. Just got this in. My favorite color. The purple Ghostface handmade by robots, which was a Stash Loot exclusive only at Whatnot. I got this from Skylar. Thank you so much, Skylar. This is perfect. She knows it's my favorite color, so she made sure that she got me one. Thank you, Skylar. Let's see. Dude, I got those too. I love them. I literally got them for Christmas. I was just wearing them last night, honestly. They're super awesome. Thank you, Ashton. Appreciate that. Nice. I didn't get any Ghostface. Did I get a Ghostface hoodie? No, I didn't get any Ghostface hoodies, but I got the pajama pants. What other Ghostface stuff did I get? I can't even think if I got any other Ghostface stuff. I don't know. It seems like so that day comes and goes so fast, doesn't it? It's like you spend all year preparing for this one day, and then when the day comes, it's like over with like that, and then it's like back to normal. And got yourself box set of The Night Evelyn Came from the Grave and the red. That's awesome. Got a pair of Ghost Chucky shoes in the mail over Christmas. That would be sweet. Got a little mini PR purple ghost face. Love it. Scream 5 Steelbook. Awesome. Ghost face pipe. Is that the one that I feel like I have that somewhere, honestly? Someone got me that a couple years ago. Oh, the new you talking about the new ones that have like the new mold? Those are pretty cool. I don't have one yet, but I've seen them. Yes, yeah. I also got a tumbler from our very own Josh B. And where do I have that setting? It's either in here or in the other room. I'm going to grab that or have Channing bring it in here. But yeah, I got an awesome Scream tumbler from Josh B. Thank you, Josh. I've actually been using it. That's why it's not. I was like, I think I'm just going to have this on display, but I've been using it. Amber display case was a Christmas gift. That's awesome. I got this neat little art thing from Anthony. I got a bunch of other stuff from him too, but I really love this little art thing that he found somewhere. Ghostface saying, looking all sad, saying she won't answer. Oh, I got some really cool boots, guys. I know this isn't like a clothing channel, but I'll show you these boots I got. There is the box. I know, this feels like a whole different channel now, doesn't it? I'm like showing off boots. These were probably my favorite things that I got for Christmas. Check out those. Aren't those awesome? And you want to see the best part of these boots? Look at the bottom. How freaking cool is that? Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I love these. I can't wait to wear them. I'm actually kind of afraid to wear them because I don't want to mess up the bottom. Oh, speaking of John Carver, this is not screen used, but this is the exact same hat that the killer wears. It has been found. It's got Velcro on the inside, which on the screen used mask, after people started getting them in that auction, they were like, oh, it looks like they added Velcro. No, they didn't add it. These actually come with the Velcro already. So yeah, this is the actual, I mean, it doesn't fit my head right now. I've got a hat on and stuff, and I'm not trying to like smash it on. But yeah, this is the John Carver hat. So this is the actual one. They were not custom made. They were literally out of the box, ordered from HalloweenCostumes.com. Yeah, this is it. I've got a buddy that bought several of the screen used masks from the auction and then ordered one of these and was literally like, I have to keep this as far away from the screen used masks or the screen used hats as possible because it's the exact same. They didn't modify them at all. If anyone wants to know where to get these, it's HalloweenCostumes.com. Just look up deluxe. I think it's deluxe pilgrim hat. I think it's like $30 maybe a little bit less. But this is what they use. This is the killer's hat right here. Right there. Screen used hero in the movie. I'm just kidding. Okay. Is your robe made out of cotton lurex? Oh, you're asking Dragula. Well, there you go, Dragula. I thought you were asking me. I was like, hold on. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, let me see if I can hold up here. Let's see if I can find it here for you. I hate sites that have those stupid like, would you like 15% off pop-ups like as soon as you freaking get on it? It's like, yeah, I do, but like, can you get me like 2 seconds to freaking look at the site first? Let's see. Okay. Swift mode, I just put the link to that hat. I just put it in the chat. And let's see, I can even show you. Right there it is. That's that picture's kind of funny, but that's the John Carver hat right there on Halloween. It's the deluxe pilgrim costume hat, and I don't know why it says brown because it's definitely not brown. It's definitely black. That's what mine said when I ordered it too, but it is not brown. You can even tell in that photo that it's not brown. But yeah, that's it. That is $24.99. Items included. Hat. Convenient. So yeah, there you go. No, it wasn't custom. Like I said, I know two people that won the killer's hat in the auction. I know the person that won the actual hero mask, hat, everything for the killer. Like they got everything, including the axe, and it's literally this hat. Like I said, when they first got it, they were like, "Oh, look, it's custom made because it has Velcro on the inside." And it's got like stitching around, like that stitching. Yeah, that's custom. And then one of them was like, it kind of looks like this hat, only modified, this one on screen. So they ordered one and they literally were like, holy shit, it's not even modified. It comes with the Velcro. So they literally just bought this hat and that's it. All right. Yeah, that's a good question. I wondered that too. I don't have a mask like screen used or replica yet. I'm waiting for the trick. I mean, if I can get my hands on a screen used one, I will. But I'm waiting for the trick or treat ones to come out and see. I know it was taped. I know the mask is like taped to the inside of the hat, so the hat stays on better. Um, but that's just when the killer's wearing it. Do, 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 do. Let's see. What else? I was gonna show you something else. I guess I wasn't prepared for my little show and tell at the end of this. The only thing I had ready to go was my little purple guy from Skylar, and the boots. Also got the screen used Nutcracker Ball tickets from the movie The Night Before. If anybody's seen that, I can't remember what year it came out, but the Christmas comedy Night Before with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie. They had the Nutcracker Ball party they're trying to get to, and they have these like holographic tickets to get in. I got those tickets, so I'll be doing a video on those because they're screen used, and hopefully some people are interested in seeing them. I would love to have that one. Would love it. Yeah, I've got my Silent Night axe. Oh let me see if I can. There it is. Oh, there it is. There's the Silent Night, Deadly Night axe, just hanging there, just hanging out. Yeah, I was originally going to have it hung like long ways, and then a couple people in the prop groups that I'm in that have way more experience with displaying stuff. Obviously, this is a temporary display. I am going to get it in a glass case at some point, but for right now, but yeah, I was going to lay it long ways, and they were like, "No, don't do that because it's rubber, and if you have it long ways like that, like this, then over time, like gravity's pulling on that, it'll start to like sag a little bit." So they pretty much just said hang it like a guitar. So I hung it like a guitar, literally with a guitar hanger. That's literally for a guitar. So it's like, hey, great idea. You know what would be perfect for that? To hang it like a guitar? A guitar hanger. A new robe design, probably. They don't seem to be reusing anything. Seems like every time they do another one now, they get a whole new crew, and they just kind of do their own thing. So we probably will, unless this one's back in Woodsboro, maybe, or maybe they shoot it in North Carolina again, and they get Emily back because she does almost all the big movies in North Carolina, and then she would probably, I would assume, would use her Scream 5 design. So let's see. Just reading some comments here. Yeah, I feel like I don't have anything else to show because I wasn't prepared for the big show and tell. This was a nice little Goodwill find that I found recently, though. I've got it in my office up here. Literally a VHS of one episode of the real Ghostbusters cartoon. I had never even seen the real Ghostbusters on VHS before in my life. And every once in a while, I'll go into a Goodwill. I mean, I go a lot in like September, October looking for Ghostface masks. But every once in a while, I'll go into one to check out like the games and the toys and the VHS to see if they have anything rare. And I actually took Channing in with me last week, and I kind of like he's just scanning. He just goes. He just goes till something catches his eye. I've learned to like just kind of stand there and slowly like one by one by one by one go. Take your time, take your time. So I'm just standing there taking my time looking through. And I just hear him instantly. He's like, dude. Holds that up, and I'm like, dude. It's like, we have to get this 40 cents. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Again, if you're not into Ghostbusters, that's fine. Definitely a rare find at a Goodwill. So probably not, because it's a safety thing. The masks have to have a certain, they have to pass all these safety tests and stuff that the government requires in order to be allowed to be sold. And if I remember correctly, the eye mesh is like a big part of that. That's actually the reason why the streamers on the 25th anniversary, like the streamers that come down from like this part of the arm, were so short compared to the actual robe. It was because of the tests and stuff that they have to pass and basically, you know, the length the streamer should be is considered a hazard because you could trip over it. So they mandated that they be shorter in order to pass the tests and be approved for sale. And it's the same thing with like the mask. The eye mesh can't be too dark or else it won't pass. Rare copy of Nightmare on Elm Street. Is it like the original copy? Like the, I guess you'd call it like the first edition. I think it's Media. Is it Media that first released it on video? Wait, am I missing something? I don't know anything about this. The Scream 6 killers had triangles on the sleeve? You talking about the robe? Are you talking about the robe or like the killers, like their wardrobe? Sorry if I sound dumb right now. I'm confused. Someone explain this to me. Someone explain the triangles. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why when I first read that, I thought you were talking to. I literally read it as like I'm confused why the Scream 6 killers all had triangles on their sleeve. I'm picturing like their shirts, they had like a triangle on it, and I'm like, what? How did I miss this? Gotcha, gotcha. Hmm. I don't know if I have anything else. Oh, one more thing that's up here. Also got to find one of these. This is the same exact one used, not the screen used one, but this is the same exact one worn by the killer in Thanksgiving. Same apron for the dinner table scene. It's got that kind of goofy, cartoony turkey on it, but you know, kind of creepy looking in a way. So, yeah, I was able to find one of those. Those are on Amazon, I believe. I'm pretty sure that I found it on Amazon. But you got to be careful because there's a bunch that are like similar, but not the exact same. So make sure you order the right one. Let's see. Let me see. Checking something here. Okay. Will we get a Scream 4 4K Steelbook? I'm sure we will. I know that the 4K is coming out for sure. I'm assuming they'll follow suit with the others and do a standard and then a 4K version. Um, Hopefully, once this comes out, they'll be able to do a box set with like all six. That'd be cool. But then again, if seven ever gets made, then it's not really a complete box set. Are they ever really complete? Are any box sets really complete? you know, like I can't think of many franchises that you could buy like the complete box set that will stay complete forever. I always said they should like have a extended thing, like if you buy the Scream the complete box set, it should be a box like that big, so there's space for you to put like 7, 8, 9, and 10, or however many there'll be someday. Um, they should have the mask turning. They should have the mask turning into the mask with popping out of the metal. That'd be cool. That would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be really freaking cool. That's what I kind of look forward to. Like, I don't really collect steel books, but I love the art on them. A lot of times, I love the art on them. My biggest problem with steel books is like how fingerprinty they get, and it's just like a nightmare. But I love how uniform they look. I mean, if you look online, some people steelbook collect, like that's all they collect. They'll only buy movies in steelbooks, whether it's Blu-rays or 4Ks. And it's like their shelf. It's just like it's just perfect. Like they're all the same size, all of it. I love that. I'm a big fan of that. Uh, so, what does well, since apparently we don't have Scream 7 to look forward to this year, are there any movies for 2024 that anybody's um looking forward to this year? Anything specific that's coming out this year movie wise that you're looking forward to? Yeah, Joker 2. Heck yeah. JP did that movie too. He told me when I interviewed him that that was the last movie that he just worked on was Joker 2, and he said be ready for it because it's wild. That was literally what he said. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, I think Saw 11 is this year. That'll be cool. I like Saw 10 a lot. I thought that was one of the better sequels, like in general. Thought it was really good. Yeah, same. Cobra Kai season 6. Looking forward to that. Did anybody see this new creepy ass trailer on it's some horror movie that doesn't have a name yet, or they haven't announced the name yet. It's a real short teaser trailer. It's like a 911 call. Anybody see that? Am I the only one that saw this trailer? Yes. Boys season 4. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait. I love that show. Every episode of that show is good and surprising. There's always something in it that I'm like shaking my head like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I can't believe they just did that." New Karate Kid movie. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot of information out there on it yet, right? I don't know what to think of it. So, was I the only one that saw this trailer, guys? Why do I feel like I was the only one who watched this trailer? No, I haven't yet. Should I? I think I have it on like my watch list, but I haven't watched it yet. But if you think I should bump it up and watch it ASAP, you know I will. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do with it. It's going to be interesting. That's one thing. It's definitely going to be interesting. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find that trailer. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this trailer on the screen so we can watch it together. Kind of reminds me of the Cloverfield trailer in the sense that if anybody remembers when the Cloverfield trailer was first released, it didn't say what the movie was called. It was just a big tease scene of fucking people running from God knows what, and then the Statue of Liberty head comes falling, and it just said the date. It's kind of like that. It's like you don't know what's going on. There's no title. There's nothing. There's just little. It's creepy. Beautiful. I will watch that. I will start watching that tomorrow. Thank you, Skylar. I thought it was okay. It's a Wonderful Knife. I don't know. I didn't like it that much, to be honest. Okay, let's see if I can get this. All right, can everyone see this? I haven't done like a video share before, but let's get this going. So it's a very short trailer for anyone that hasn't been paying attention for the last 2 minutes. I must have been the only person here that saw this trailer because I'm the only one talking about it. It's super creepy. As you see, it says "That's not my daughter." That's not the name of the movie. That's just the name of the trailer because they're not revealing the name of the movie. It's a cryptic teaser for a 2024 horror film from the company Neon. So let's get this playing. Here we go. Let's get the volume up. All right.
911, what's your emergency?
It's my daughter. I gotta be quiet.
Sir, can you stay on the line with me?
That's not my daughter.
freaking creepy, right? Like, I watched that and was like, oh my god. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know if I want to know what's going on. I'm excited. Whatever that movie is, I've got my eye on it. I'm ready for them to announce what it is so that we know. Okay, all right. Any last thoughts, guys? We've been almost on for 2 hours, but that's okay. That is okay because it has been a minute since I've done one of these. Yeah, freaking creepy. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm anxious to see what that movie's all about. But yeah, if anyone has any last thoughts, like I said, gone about 2 hours here, which, like I said, is cool. That's awesome. It's been a minute since I did one of these, so I kind of planned to go long. And I do, like I said, have a couple videos in the works. I am going to do a video about this little guy, and I'm going to do a video on the screen used night before tickets. And I got also, for Christmas, I got a bunch of weird candies and foods and drinks and stuff from Anthony Massey for Christmas, specifically for Channing and I to try on the channel. As you know, we do some of these fun little videos from time to time where we try weird things, foods and drinks. It scared me. I don't know if you can hear that snow plow. Dude, there's so much snow here right now. It's ridiculous. Did you get a lot of snow up your way, Josh? If you're still here, Josh B, fellow Pennsylvanian. What's the weather like up there? We got hammered down here. Yeah, I want to see that for sure. Absolutely, for sure. You too. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. And all right, guys, I can wrap this up, I guess. Like I said, it's been about 2 hours, but we are good. We'll be back again next Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. Nola Ray, most of the snow missed us. Kind of jealous. Shit, the tumbler. I'm going to grab the tumbler, actually. All right, guys, I'm back. Here it is. Check out this tumbler, guys. Isn't that freaking beautiful? Like, this tumbler's amazing. This is from Josh B. Thank you again, Josh. Like I said, when I first got it, I was so impressed with it. I was like, I think I'm just going to have it on display. But then I loved it so much, I started using it. That's why it wasn't up here for me to show you earlier. But here it is. There's the tumbler. Love this. Thank you. Yeah. See, Josh? You've already got more people want this tumbler. Make sure you tell them where you got it. And then tell that company that you're helping them sell a bunch of them. But yeah, this thing's amazing. It's beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Josh. All right, guys. Well, that about wraps up this one. Like I said, we'll be back next Saturday at 8 p.m. And what will the topic be? Not sure yet, but we'll make sure it's a good one. And I will have some more cool stuff to show you before then with a couple videos. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being patient while I took a couple weeks off for the holidays. Thank you for the Tumblr, Josh. And thank you so much for my new purple friend, Skylar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you guys next time. Peace out.